Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanaka Gauri Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Raman Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hari Nama Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam.
Madhuryoज्वल प्रेमाभ्य श्रीरूपान्त भक्तिदा
Vigrahaya Namostute. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Niramarine Rupanugabhinudhapo Siddhanta Bhantaharine Namo Gaura-Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya-Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Gurujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivedanta Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugambarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhunestam Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahadananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhansute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandam Madirgati Matsarnasvapadam Bojo Radha Madanamoharo Divyam Pringarunyakalpadumado Srimad Ratnagara Sindhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Raghunandadevo Krishnani Sevyamano Smarami Shrimandra Sarasarambhi Mam Shivatatastitaha Karshanme Usvane Gopi Gopinath Shri Sunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupasvarupakam Bhaktavatarum Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashankhitam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Maha Bhakti Nirvapanam Shreyam Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyamadhu Jivanam Anandam Vivaldhanam Pradiphanam Purnamrita Shvadanam Sarvatma Sabanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Eva Kevalam Tado करके मुझको अपना लेना। Bring it lower. Hare Krishna. Gurudev कृपा करके page 360. गुरु परंपरा की जय। Hari Hari Kave Have Kave Mora Have Heno Dina, page 41. And if you don't have a songbook, is Jiva Pavan Prabhu there?
Yes.
Dandava Pranam Prabhu. If you don't have a songbook, Jiva Pavan Prabhu posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So just go to his most recent, or they say newest post, and there you will find the bhajan with translation and very often beautiful commentaries. Thank you, Prabhu.
Dandava Pranam. Dandava Pranam to all Vaishnavas also. Dandava.
Vishaya Vasana Rupa, page 48, Prayer of Humility to Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan.
Vasana, V-A-S-A-N-A, Rupa. We should wait a little bit to make sure they get it. Just like.
I'm pretty sure this one's in the collection.
It is.
Aishwaryo Vasunarubha Chindiro Biharo Amaro Hinoye Kori Nitai Mor Jivanadhana by Lochan Das Thakur, page 57. Pratipalan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
I wonder if you could explain the last sentence of this bhajan.
As we were singing this bhajan, maybe many of you saw the translation as well. This bhajan is quite extreme. And this is firm faith in Sri Nityananda Prabhu by Lochan Das Thakur. This is the mood that one should have toward their transcendental Gurudev as well. This is the kind of Guru Nishta which is the backbone of bhakti that our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja would speak about. And many don't understand the importance of having this kind of conviction or mood, this kind of dedication, this kind of loyalty to Sri Gurudev. So here he's saying, Nitai is the wealth of my life, he is my family, but for him I have no other resort. We should apply this mood wholly and totally in the lotus feet of our Gurudev. Then he says, I shall throw ash in the face of worldly pleasure. This is something that eventually we will all have to do, but this will come naturally as we develop taste through the association of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. When we develop the higher taste, then naturally the lower taste will be distasteful for us. However, our Srila Gurudev has said that if any sannyasi or lifelong brahmachari is making an endeavor to move forward on the path of bhakti, and any personification of sense pleasure is coming to them trying to intentionally distract them away from their focus, they should yell at that person, maybe even smack them and walk away.
This goes for women too.
Any sannyasi or brahmachari, which means women too, who is trying to dedicate their life to Krishna, if someone is intentionally trying to distract you from that,
Savita Didi used to tell us, if any brahmachari or any man who's supposed to be dedicating to Guru and Vaishnava, if they even touch your arm, if they try to talk to you, she would say, yell at them, scream at them, so that they never want to come near you again, for your safety and for service to that jiva.
In 1996, there were some brahmacharis in the mutt who were completely bedazzled by the sudden influx of apsaras from the west into the mutt. And it was like their jaws hit the floor, they were drooling and they couldn't help themselves. And even they kind of would maneuver in such a way that their arm would swipe past anybody. So a few husbands with young wives went to Srila Gurudev complaining. We don't understand, we're coming here for bhakti and these young brahmacharis are kind of trying to get close to our wives. Gurudev was like, ooh, and we told him. And Gurudev was like, what? And we said, yes. So then, very soon afterward, you can hear Gurudev in the room, roaring like a lion. And I heard that he was using his wooden sandal, because we could hear them screaming, ah, are you calling them liars like this? And he was so heavy with them that they didn't look at us or speak with us for
2 years?
About 2 years.
And then they came apart.
Then they came like this. Everything okay? 2 years later, everything okay? Like
then
this.
We all became close.
Very respectful and like this, but very, very strong. So this mood here, he said, I shall throw ash in the face of worldly pleasure, means that thing which is coming to distract me from my conviction, I should keep that very far away. I remember there was some book called How to Fall Out of Love, and one of the processes that was recommended was to imagine that person that you have your infatuation completely covered in vomit. It might change your feeling a little bit. So, this is a current mainstream book. While chanting the name of Nitai, I shall sustain my life by begging in the village. I shall never visit any place where Nitai is absent, and I shall never look upon the face of one who is averse to him. Now, Srila Gurudev himself gave us many, many examples, even in his own life, of following this principle. Sudevi had written him a letter because we had been traveling around the world explaining about Guru Nishtha, that we should not enjoy in that place where our Gurudev is disrespected. We should not eat from those who disrespect our Gurudev. We should not try to play and have fun in the company of those who are disrespectful to our Gurudev. And so we would preach this very strongly around the world, and some devotees were getting upset that our preaching was too heavy and too, what was the word? Divisive. And so we wrote to Srila Gurudev and we explained, and we even added names of devotees.
I actually added names of, like Brajanath Prabhu, who was going to those places, so that I wanted to see if the letter would actually get to Gurudev and what response would come.
The names of sannyasis and senior Vaishnavas who were close to Gurudev, who were going to places and enjoying where Gurudev was severely disrespected. And Srila Gurudev said, never mind, so many will go. But we will never go. He said, this is Guru Nishtha. And he said, we should never go to any place where our Gurudev is disrespected. This is Guru Nishtha. And he said, many years ago, many years ago, in one temple in Kolkata, I think it was Bagh
I don't really remember.
One of these temples, he said, my Gurudev was severely disrespected. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj was severely disrespected. He said, to this day, I think it was 50 years later, to this day, I have never set foot in that place. So Gurudev had this kind of mood of conviction.
In the letter he also said, we will never even support those who offend our Guru Maharaj. This is Guru Nishtha.
And then we've also heard this, I shall never look upon the face of one who is averse to him. So our Srila Gurudev said, we shouldn't think about them, we shouldn't meditate on them, we shouldn't even look at their shadow. Like that kind of distance. Some people don't understand this. But if we have somebody who we have deep love and affection for, we should have this for Gurudev, for Nityananda Prabhu, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but for Gurudev, for who is favorable for our bhakti. And then someone is so disrespectful to that person we love the most. Would we go and enjoy in that place? Imagine going somewhere with your wife or your husband, and oh, you're welcome, but they spit on that person who is your significant other. Then naturally you won't be there anymore. This is nature. If we have even a slight semblance of that kind of dedication to our Gurudev, then if someone is offending our Gurudev, we also will not associate closely.
Our Gurudev or Guru Varga.
Or our Guru Varga, or their conceptions, their teachings.
In this letter I also wrote, it's not only about you, Gurudev. If someone was like this to our Srila Prabhupada, then I would respond the same way.
Yes.
And Gurudev liked that it wasn't just my Gurudev, it was Guru Tattva.
And Srila Gurudev responded 3 times in his letter of response to us that this is Guru Nishtha. And he wanted to inspire that mood of loyalty or Nishtha in the hearts of his disciples. So Srila Gurudev, we once had an experience. We once received an experience from Srila Gurudev where we witnessed one devotee trying to offer him a Maha sweet. And this devotee had so much affection for him. She was quite elderly. And somehow it just ended up being myself and Sudevi, this devotee lady, and Gurudev in the room. And she was looking at him with affection, trying to offer him this sweet. And he looked at her and he said, where is it from? And she said, the temple. He said, which temple? She said, the temple. And then she told him which temple. And he said, oh, then I cannot take. He said, it may be that whoever made that had a ill mood toward me, and if I take it, I will become sick. So he just went like this. And she just kept looking at him like, but it's a Maha sweet from the plate of the deities. And Gurudev looked at it. He took the tulsi leaf off the top. He touched it to his head and offered it in his mind. And then he popped the tulsi leaf in his mouth, and then he went like this. And at that moment, Sudevi and I, we realized nothing can affect him. As nothing can affect Prahlad Maharaj. Even enough poison to kill 10,000 full-grown men. Nothing can affect a transcendental pure devotee. But for our sake, to show us, because we're just like little sprouts. Very easily, a sprout can be damaged, can be ruined. So we have to be so careful for ourselves and our progression of devotion that we don't associate or take association through so many different forms, through our eyes, ears, hands, mouth, through so many different ways that will create an impediment to our relationship with our Gurudev. What increases that faith, what increases that conviction, what increases that devotion, we can accept happily. What creates division in that, what creates doubt, uncertainty, or what is actually directly unfavorable to that, we should avoid that. We don't need to think about it, meditate on it, absorb our minds in it, but we should keep it at a very far distance.
Also, it's not against anyone.
Well, that way it's not against anyone, but at least we should only accept what is favorable for the development of our Guru Nishta. Srila Gurudev said we should apply this verse, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, first and foremost, wholly and totally at the lotus feet of Sri Guru, because Sri Guru is the first form of Krishna who appears in our lives. So, then Lochan Das Thakur is saying the water which bathes the feet of Nitai is the same Ganga that Lord Shiva bears upon his head. Because Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Baladev Prabhu. And his manifestation, yes, the manifestation of Baladev Prabhu, from Mool Sankarshan comes Mahasankarshan. From Mahasankarshan comes Karnadakshaya Vishnu. From him comes Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From him comes Shirodakshaya Vishnu. From him comes all of the Leela avatars, including Vaman Dev. So the original of all of them is Krishna, but his first expansion is Baladev or Nityananda Prabhu, non-different. So that water which has come into the universe by the toe of Vaman Dev piercing the outer cover of the universe, which is washing the lotus feet of Vaman Avatar, now comes into this world onto the head of Lord Shiva. He bears Ganga upon his head and then allows her to flow. That same water which Lord Shiva bears upon his head is the water which bathes the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. On top of that, Lord Shiva is always meditating on his Gurudev, and on his Ishtadev, that is Sankarshan Ram or Baladev Prabhu. One who does not worship this Nitai will suffer and die. This is the conviction of Lochan Das Thakur. If one does not worship Sri Guru, if one does not honor the pure devotee of the Lord, then they cannot even worship the Lord. Then their life is like useless.
It reminds me of Fiji and the dogs. Srila Prabhupada says that we all have to be the dog of someone, so why not be the dog of Nityananda Prabhu? We all have a master, whether it's our wife, or our husband, or our bosses at work, or our children, or our country.
Our dogs.
Or our dogs. We're all the servant of someone, he said. So why not become the dog, the servant of Nityananda Prabhu? And then Kishori and I were speaking about it once, and we remembered in the Fiji Islands, there would be packs of dogs, wild dogs, and they would attack people just randomly, not like in Vrindavan where they're the most timid of creatures. There they were wild and they would attack you. So about maybe 2 to 3 times a year they would make an announcement on the radio, and they would go up and down the streets with a speaker blaring saying, "Tonight we're throwing poisoned meat out and we're going to kill all of the wild dogs, the dogs with no owners. So keep your pets inside, keep them tied up, do not let them out." And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada says, if you don't have a master and you're a dog, you're always fearful. You're always searching for maintenance. You're always searching, where is shelter, where is food, where is love and affection? But somebody who has a master, They don't even think about where their shelter is. They don't think about where their food will come from. Automatically they know my master will care for me. So in this way, when I was reading that part of this bhajan, I was thinking that they will just live without any purpose, always searching for shelter in this world, but never finding it. It's useless, pointless. And then the last part about scorching the face, I was thinking how Gurudev would say when somebody would make very severe offense or they would reject Gurudev, then he would say, I do not want to see their black faces. And not black in terms of black or white or any color of this world, any bodied person, but actually just like a scorched face. I don't want to see this black scorched face. That's what it reminded me of. Not that, you know, I'm going to take fire and scorch their face, but you've become like blackened due to this kind of scorching.
You've burned yourself due to aparad.
Yes. So, but it was kind of funny when we were singing it, to read it, we both laughed at the same time because it's so shocking, and it does deserve some purport and some better understanding so that we don't think, wow, how violent is this Vaisnava? But actually it is showing his Guru Nishta and how we should also feel, at least internally, for our Guru and our Guru Varg.
Thank you. This idea of scorching the face. Once our Srila Gurudev was asked, many times actually, that if someone is against Guru, if someone is spreading false rumors about your Guru, what should you do? And immediately he said, you should cut their tongue with... he said you should cut their tongue. And we hear this a lot in Shastra. It doesn't literally mean like pulling the tongue out and cutting it, but he said you should cut their tongue with Shastra. It means to silence them. Silence them with Shastra. And he said if you do not have the capacity or the capability of doing so, then you should leave that place with your ears covered and go to any body of water, a lake, a river, or the ocean. With all of your clothes on, you should bathe and you should pray to Krishna. Chant his names, but pray to him for forgiveness from hearing this mood of aparad against your Gurudev. So this scorching the face also has, it reminds me of Vrindavan Das Thakur. If you see in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur again and again says, anyone who neglects my Nityananda Prabhu, or anyone who rejects him, I kick them in their heads. I kick them in their heads. Who's only accepting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but neglecting Nityananda Prabhu, they're like accepting the logic of half a hen. They're trying to take the part that gives the eggs, but they don't want to feed it. So then you don't really get anything. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur, they have this very strong mood of conviction in the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. And we should learn from them how to have this mood of conviction in the lotus feet of our Gurudev. Of course, our Gurudev, our Guru Varga say, we should not use violence, physical violence. We've seen it around sometimes that people use physical violence, but this is not what is meant by this. What is meant by this, we should see how they communicated in Jaiva Dharma. There was some respectful communication. Maybe there was some misunderstanding or disagreement. If one could not see eye to eye, then they would keep a distance. But in this case, yes, I shall scorch the face of one who has no regard for my Nitai. What does that mean? It means that I will also keep them very, very far away. Who is against Krishna, who is against Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is against Gurudev, who is against the pure Vaishnavas, I will burn them from my own life. It means I will cut. Because if we maintain that association, then we will also be affected by it. And it will actually create a situation in our life where we will never be able to attain Nishta in our Gurudev. We will not be able to attain conviction. So it's quite heavy, quite intense, but also deep down, it is the most essential thing for us. The backbone of our devotion is to have this kind of loyalty in the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev.
Thank you.
We can go much more deeply into this, but for now, we will leave it at that. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
I just think it's important to, when we sing these really extraordinarily shocking bhajans, that it's good to have a little bit of an understanding, not just, like I said, thinking that they're very harsh, but actually it's love and it's dedication.
Gauranga bolite habe.
Oh, we haven't done that in a long time. Page?
Page 86. Can you give me some water, please? Harinamatua Aneka Swarupa, page 180.
All together or?
No. You want to lead it? Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of those who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Going a little fuzzy, see if we're getting cut off. Do you know if it's...
It
must be on. Is it on Radharaman?
It's fine here
okay.
And there. So who's fuzzy?
Jiva Pavana Prabhu was seeing fuzzy.
Getting a little fuzzy.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye on it. So far it seems to be going.
Right. So it was quite an interesting subject matter we were discussing previously, which was the subject matter of Guru Nishtha. And it's quite interesting because Srila Gurudev put a lot of focus on that particular subject. Whereas we find that sometimes others are actually trying to remove the emphasis from that subject and trying to embrace the unification aspect. We need to see according to Shastra what is more beneficial. Not according to sentiment, not according to what feels good. Because we like so many things according to what feels good. But what feels good might not be what is actually pleasing to Guru, Gauranga and Radha and Krishna. So Vaishnavas should always try to see through the medium, through the eyes of Shastra. This is known as Shastra Chakshushaha. To see through the eyes of Shastra. And not to compromise based on sentimentality. It's a nice idea that we can all come together. But if who we're coming together with has a mood of antagonism toward our own Gurudev, or a mood of antagonism toward bhakti, the process of bhakti, or a mood of antagonism toward Krishna, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Nityananda Prabhu, then it will not be favorable for our own progress in bhakti. It may be that great personalities, like our Gurudev, like Srila Prabhupada, like so many of these kinds of persons, they can deal with that because there is nothing that can shake or break them. Because they have nishtha, firm conviction in the lotus feet of their Gurudev. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada very boldly proclaimed that even if all of the conditioned voices of the entire material universe in one voice yelled out the untruth, means what is not true, I alone would stand in the face of all of them and loudly and boldly proclaim the truth. We all know what it feels like if even one person has a mood which is not kind toward us. it pinches. Then you got 5 or 10, it hurts. 20, 30, 50. It's like easy to cower and maybe to compromise. But the speciality of all of our Guru Varga, what really sets them apart from the flock, so to speak, is that they never compromised on the tattva, on the siddhanta, and on the service of their Gurudev. Their conviction, their nishtha, their unbreakable, unshakable faith in the lotus feet and the teachings of their own Gurudev, even at the expense of so much, so many people rejecting them, so many people against them, but still holding tightly to the truth in all circumstances. I believe that's what we ended with yesterday. Submission to the truth. This is what makes them stand out from all others. If we compromise and compromise and compromise, and more compromise on top of that compromise, then we're left with some very diluted something. Then we have no foundation, no standing. There's nothing solid. And the jivas of this world, the conditioned souls, are accustomed to that. And that's why everyone is searching for solidity. We only have ever known, as Srila Govinda Maharaj explained, disappointment. Again and again, disappointed, disappointed. Everything we have ever put our faith in, our hearts in, our love and affection in, all material things, material persons, material attachments and substances and relationships, every single one has failed us again and again and again, forever. That's why it is called Sharira Avidyajal. It's all like liquid ignorance. You know when there's an earthquake? We used to live in Los Angeles, and there they would talk about something called liquefaction. So if the ground shakes enough, then it becomes like liquid. All of that sand breaks up and everything will be swallowed into it. This is the nature of this material world. It's all temporary in nature. So we experience again and again and again disappointment. That's why it is said that all jivas are searching for something. We're searching for that reality, and we keep trying to find it and search for it in the wrong places. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. So we're searching for something that will satisfy the eternal soul, but in a source of everything that is temporary. And as a result of that, we find frustration and disappointment again and again and again. And so Shastra says that everyone is searching for their dearmost friend. What is that dearmost friend? The friend who won't fail us. That friend who will always be there forever. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. Who is the eternal friend of every living entity. No matter how many sins we have committed, no matter how many mistakes we have made, no matter how foolish or stupid or even opposed we are, he never leaves us. He's always there waiting, just waiting. When will you give up all of that foolish illusion and just turn your face in my direction? Then you will be happy, and this will make me happy. So as long as we are trying to endeavor to find permanence in the material world, we're only going to end up with disappointment because everything here is impermanent. But the soul is eternal. Krishna is eternal. And the eternal nature of our relationship, that is also eternal. By finding Krishna, we will find everything which is exactly the opposite of disappointment. We will find our true nature, our true calling, and true eternal love and affection. Without that, only frustration. So this subject of Guru Tattva is essential. Of Guru Nishtha is essential. Because without having that exclusive one-pointed mood in the lotus feet of Sri Guru, our Gurudev and our Shastras explain that we will never be able to attain it for Krishna. If we don't first offer everything, our heart, our everything in the lotus feet of Sri Guru, then how can we ever hope to attain it for Krishna? It's not possible. Not by following up the path of our own minds and our own senses. Krishna himself says, first of all, you worship Gurudev. Serve the pure devotees. From that point, then I will accept your service. So even we don't approach Krishna directly. When we're chanting Mahamantra, we don't even approach Krishna directly. We say, Hare Krishna. First calling out for the mercy of Srimati Radhika, Hare, who is even stealing the mind and heart of Krishna. We call for her mercy. By the mercy of Srimati Radhika, we will be able to see Krishna. And as our Srila Prabhupada writes in his Chaitanya Charitamrita purports, Radharani is the medium by which one's love and affection is transmitted to Krishna. So she is the original or ultimate Guru, because she engages all souls in serving Krishna. We can also see it from the other side, Baladev Prabhu. But really the essence is ashray. They are the essence of serving Krishna. And by the medium of taking shelter of those who have the mood or the essence of serving Krishna, our natural tendency, our inherent nature to love and serve Krishna can be awakened. In Shastra it is said, Lord Shiva is saying, Aham Vedmi, Shuko Veti, Vyaso Veti na Veti Va. Lord Shiva says, I know the Vedas. Shukadev Goswami, he also understands and knows the Vedas. Vyas may or may not know. This is quite an interesting statement he's making. Why? Because Lord Shiva is known as the topmost Vaisnava. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. The Vaishnava understands the heart of Krishna. They know how to serve Krishna. Shukadev Goswami is also a pure devotee of Radha and Krishna. So Shukadeva understands their heart and he can explain, he understands. But who is Vyasadeva? Vyaso Veti na Veti Va, may or may not know. Krishna Dvaipayan Vedvyas. Krishna himself has manifested in the form of Vyasadeva. Because Krishna is Vishai Tattva, the supreme absolute enjoyer of all seva. His mood is Vishai. So he may or may not understand the mood of ashray or service. Therefore, Krishna himself had to take shelter of the best ashray he knows. The personification of love and affection. Mahabhav Surupini, Sri Radha Thakurani, he had to take shelter of her and beg from her moods of love and affection. Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishavana Eva Ashwadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima Kidrishavamadiya Sokyam Chasamarana Bhavata Kidrisham Veti Lobhat Tab Bhavadyam Samajani Shachigarbha Sindho Harindu. Desiring to understand what it is like to love Krishna from the perspective of the best beloved devotee of Krishna, that is Sri Radha. Krishna himself taking shelter of those moods of Srimati Radhika manifested in this world in the form of Sri Shachinandan, Gaur Hari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore he can give because he's experiencing the mood of a bhakta. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He can give Krishna Prem to this world. But Krishna might not be able to personally. It is through the medium of the bhav, the mood of the devotees who are loving and serving Krishna, that love and service for Krishna can be awakened. Yes?
It's really, really fuzzy.
Really, really fuzzy. Can you hear it?
I can hear it fine.
Should we switch it?
Ask the devotees. It looks really fuzzy.
I don't mind if you sing me fuzzy, but I don't like you sing Thakurji fuzzy.
No, but if you can see.
Yes, okay. Maybe I'll put it on, okay, we're going to switch from Radharaman. Radha Vinod Bihari to Kishori because we're talking about Srimati Radhika. So we're going to switch to Kishori and see if she gives us her blessings that everything
Sorry,
can
it
be
just looks
smooth.
really
Hold
fuzzy,
on.
so...
4, 3, 2, 1.
Devaki says, sounds good, no interruptions, but...
Can we switch to Kishori?
But we can hear you okay, they said. Have you switched?
I put Kishori here, but I didn't switch there.
I mean, if they can hear you, then just leave it.
All right.
Just let us know immediately if something happens. I'm trying to keep up on it. The sound is important. Okay, sorry.
On that note...
I was just trying to make...
Thank you. On that note, real conviction in service to Krishna is awakened by the devotees. Bhakta sanjataya bhakta. Bhakti is awakened in the association of devotees by the mercy of devotees. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. To serve the Bhagavad, there's two kinds of Bhagavats. The Srimad Bhagavatam, which is all about love of Krishna, which our Guru Varga has seen is saturated with the bhav of Srimati Radhika, and therefore they say that in every syllable of Bhagavatam, she is present. They see that, they understand that. And then, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya also means the Mahabhagavat Vaisnava, to serve the person Bhagavatam. The person Bhagavatam is also that personality, the pure devotee, who is able to give us Krishna. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoite. Guru makes Krishna appear in one's heart. So this essential foundational principle, Guru Nishta, that is the backbone of bhakti. And without that, we don't have anything, right? It is said that Guru is like the rudder, or Guru is the captain of the boat, Guru Karana Dharam. So we're dependent upon the mercy of Sri Guru, the mercy of the pure devotees. Sri Guru means Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. The pure devotees to... Okay.
It just froze.
Yes.
In our room.
Bring it, bring it.
Here. Okay.
There. I think they wanted you to have darshan of them. Radha Vinu Bihari Ju Ki Jai. So now we're connected to Kishori. Jyoti si Kishori mere angana mein dole re.
Is this safe?
Stand. No, the thing underneath is supposed to stand up higher.
Oh! I got this.
I don't know. Oh my God. Oh me payaliya baje jam jama jambo re.
I'm trying.
Jyoti si Kishori mere angana mein dole.
Okay, I think we did it.
Hare Krishna.
I'm really sorry.
Hello, are we there? Is it going?
It's going.
Hare Krishna.
It went completely off in my room.
Hare Krishna, please let us know if you're there and then we will continue. Hare Krishna. Is it going?
The internet is off.
Oh, internet's off. That's right. Okay. Can you check the phone and make sure it's going?
Yeah, it's going.
How do you know?
Because I saw hearts and laughing when I turned it back on.
Okay. Yes?
Image is okay too, coming clearer.
Check.
Okay, it's good.
Okay, now we're taking the blessings of She is the proprietor of Vrindavan. I asked Gurudev, what is your favorite name? And he said, Kishori. It's the name for Srimati Radhika. So, okay. We will now continue with going beyond Vaikuntha before entering into this beautiful transcendental treasure. Srila Gurudev, whenever he would want us to study any book, he would first read from it to us. And sometimes he would go through it very quickly. He would go through Mana Shiksha in 2 or 3 days, Bhajan Rahatsya maybe in, or was it Bhakti Rasai and Bhajan Rahasya? Sometimes he would go very quickly. And then he would tell us, now that I've given you the proper mood, now you can go home and you can open up your treasure box and you can relish those treasures that I've given you, so that you've received the proper mood, then you can understand. So, Srila Gurudev is giving us the proper mood, how to enter into these treasures through his commentaries here. So, this is the commentary, one of the commentaries of our Gurudev on Sri Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita, the section of Gokumar's movement from being here in this world all the way through all of the different levels to the Vaikuntha planets, even to Ayodhya, to Dwarka, Aprakat, transcendental, then coming back to any Bhoma Vrindavan, world Vrindavan present on any earth planet, where Krishna is performing his pastimes. Actually, he was doing bhajan, and then from here he was transferred to Aprakat Vrindavan and entered into Krishna's pastimes as a cowherd boy. So before entering into this transcendental scripture, transcendental treasure, we will pray in the lotus feet of our Gurudev and Sri Sanatan Goswamipada in the words of Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairaga Juga Bhakti Samprayatnar Apayana Mamanu Vipshamandam Kripambadirya Paradukaduki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami, begging in the dust of the lotus feet of our Gurudev and Sri Sanatan Goswamipada that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest within our hearts. Sudevi? Oh, you can't write them.
What?
Those, the internet people.
I did write them on my...
Okay. I have to write him about 10 times every day to tell him to reset the internet. I hope he sees this.
Oh, it didn't go through.
So Srila Gurudev has been speaking about real kirtan versus anything else. I have collected a compendium, I believe that's the word, compendium, of hundreds of quotes about real kirtan versus everything else. And it's amazing how our Guru Varga speaks about it. Some can be considered actually a vice. You know what a vice is? Something which is actually against bhakti. If we're doing kirtan for name, fame, position, money, for sense gratification, for attracting... Gurudev once he said, oh, I know when any brahmachari is there in Mangalarti and they just kind of keep looking back, or if any brahmachari is crying to me, oh, I know, what's her name? Gurudev would joke like that. So if anyone is doing kirtan for these purposes, this is not kirtan at all. This is using Krishna in my own service. And that is not service to Krishna. If we're trying to utilize him to serve my senses, to attract anything, money or name, fame, position, women or men or whatever, well, look at me, come to me, let me enjoy, then we're actually engaging Krishna in our service. And that is completely opposite to the mood of bhakti, which is to engage everything, including myself and everything in relation to myself, in the service of Krishna. What is exclusively for his happiness, his pleasure, his benefit, without expecting or wanting anything for myself. That is bhakti. So really, kirtan is a process of bhakti. What are the 9 symptoms of bhakti mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? Shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu smaranam, etc. So hearing, doing kirtan, chanting, remembering. This is a process of bhakti. So if we are doing the external activity of kirtan for any other reason than bhakti, that's why our Gurudev and Param Gurudev and Shastras have given so much emphasis to what is pure bhakti. And Gurudev and Param Gurudev almost quoted that Anya Vilashita Shunyam verse on a daily basis to impress within us what is bhakti so that we can understand very easily what is not. So if we use that as our thermometer, our barometer, this verse, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, then we can understand whether what we are doing is bhakti or not. Am I doing it for the pleasure of, for the satisfaction of, for the benefit of Guru, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna, or am I just doing it for myself, my self-aggrandizement, for name and fame, for sense gratification, etc. If I'm not doing it for Krishna, for Guru, for Gauranga, then I cannot really consider it bhakti. It might be Sangha Siddha Bhakti or Karma Mishra Bhakti, something mixed, but it cannot be considered Uttama Bhakti or pure Bhakti, devotional service. Uttama Bhakti only manifests in the association of and under the guidance of that person who possesses that within their heart. Pure transcendental love and affection for Krishna, that is Uttama Bhakti. By being in that association, then that pure Bhakti mood will manifest in our heart. By their association, transcendental knowledge will manifest in our heart, knowledge of our relationship. What is real love and affection? Divyam Jnanam. Divine knowledge will manifest in our heart. And by the higher taste which comes due to their association, because they are really tasting that higher thing, they can also give something. I think someone's next door, Sudevi. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they give something of that higher taste to us. By that higher taste, naturally all other lower tastes will become inconsequential and distasteful in comparison. It won't have any comparison. The sweetness, how much nectar is there within these two syllables, Krishna. What is that nectar? It is serving Krishna. It's not for my enjoyment, it is for pleasing Krishna. That is nectar. And as an automatic side effect, of course, transcendental happiness, pleasure, and all of that manifests naturally and automatically. But the devotees do not desire that. They don't perform the activities of bhakti so that they can feel that bliss. They do the activities of bhakti so that they can give Krishna bliss. Very different. That's the difference between selfish consciousness and Krishna consciousness. And in the association of Vaishnavas, of pure devotees, then this consciousness, the selfish consciousness, can be twisted, turned, dovetailed toward Krishna consciousness. How is this favorable for Krishna? How is it beneficial for him? How is it pleasing to him? Making Krishna the center of all activities. That is Krishna consciousness. And so the Krishna consciousness movement is not only for all of them outside. It first and foremost should be for this one inside. That there should be a movement in my heart turning toward the constant, steady service of Krishna. The movement should be here. And then naturally, when I meet others, it will also help to move them. And we can test that in ourselves. How much potency do we have on our own? But look at one Srila Prabhupada sitting in the park with his eyes closed. His heart was moving exclusively 100% toward the service of his Gurudev, Gauranga and Radha and Krishna while he's chanting, serving Harinam Prabhu. And by that, by his own flow, it was like gravitational force. So many hundreds and thousands of persons' hearts were moved, and they started also moving toward Krishna. Srila Bhakti-Rakshak Srila Maharaj said, by his complete selfless surrender, it created like a transcendental vacuum. That vacuum means it began to pull so many toward Krishna. Yes?
Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, because he emptied himself of everything other than the desire to serve Krishna in his Guru Varg, he said that just as watering the root of the tree, all are satisfied. The whole tree, the leaves, the fruits, everything becomes satisfied. He said, because he emptied himself like that, I am just like a puppet in your hands, so if you have brought me here to dance, make me dance. That kind of self-surrender, he said, automatically everyone became satisfied and started gravitating around him. So another aspect of that, beautiful. He also said, just like a rose or a beautiful fragrant flower in the forest, it doesn't call anyone and say, come smell me, I'm amazing. But automatically that fragrance permeates, and all of the bees, all of the people come automatically to smell that flower. So.
Thank you. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful meditation. So we've seen how those who are pure in heart, whose hearts are exclusively moving toward Krishna, just by that nature of their own internal Krishna conscious movement, all others begin to move with them. Whoever they come in contact with, dhira adhira janapriyo priyakaro nirmatsaro pujito, because they are focused exclusively on Krishna and they only desire the welfare of all jivas by giving them Krishna. Then even those who are sober and those who are not sober, adhira, all become attracted and want to move on that path of devotion. This is the potency of a pure devotee. Whereas anyone else who is not pure, we might be able to help one or two, maybe a few more if we're fortunate. Our function is how to bring anyone and push them toward the pure devotee. So we can act in the function of Dharma Pradarshika, showing them the direction. Every single one of us has that capacity. We can mention about Krishna, we can tell everyone about Krishna, and then we can try to point them to who can actually bring them to Krishna. What's going on here? Okay. Just need to make sure here I'm not missing anything. Okay. So our Srila Gurudev was saying that if a man is offering archan with pure sentiment, another one is offering archan without any such sentiment. Archan means serving the deity form of the Lord. And another one who is blaspheming Vaishnavas is also offering archan to the deity. Will it all be equal? No. And the story that I told before when we were speaking about Nityananda Prabhu, this actually plays in very deeply. Just because someone takes a sweet, puts it on a very beautiful plate, puts a tulsi leaf on it and puts it in front of the deity in the temple, if that person's heart is full of aparad or offenses to the pure devotee of Krishna, Krishna will have no attraction to take that thing. Krishna will stay very far away, and Gurudev proved it by not accepting it. If it was actually prasad, he would have accepted it. But he took the tulsi leaf off the top, offered it, means he didn't consider even that tulsi leaf was offered. He offered it, and he took that tulsi leaf and would not take the other thing. So this is symbolic or symptomatic of that. That if anyone is doing archan with the mood of aparad to Vaishnavas, will Thakurji accept it? Gurudev is saying no. It's interesting because we mentioned that, and this is the last sentence we read last time. So if someone is doing with pure sentiment, any little thing they offer, one little bit of flower, or one leaf, one tulsi leaf, or a little bit of water, a little bit of fruit, but if they're doing it with pure love and affection, Krishna will be greedy to accept that. And someone else, maybe they're not making offenses, but maybe they don't have this pure love and affection, they're just kind of doing it as a ritual. Gurudev has made so much fun of those, we joke about it, those who are just doing it like a ritual. He said if you're just waving incense and you're counting circles, 20, 30 like this, he said Krishna will just be like, oh my God, when is this going to end? And then you're taking half an hour, 45 minutes, and Krishna will be like, oh my God, I'm hungry. I mean, Krishna will leave and you will just be doing your arti, and he will leave and go and play with his friends and have something to eat. You've been taking too long. He said, and sometimes people are doing like exercise with the chamra, twisting and up, down, and Krishna will be afraid, oh, be careful, don't drop that. I've seen it when people drop the chamra as they're offering. it spins around the other way and goes flying toward Thakurji like an arrow. And Krishna will become afraid. He said, oh, you're doing exercise like this. So Krishna will become afraid you're going to drop it. He said, we should not do archan like this. So that is like a ritual. Okay, now I have to count how many circles to the feet, how many circles to the body, how many to the head, and then how many three. Okay, oh, wait, did I forget something? Let me go back. These kinds of activities, just counting circles. Srila Gurudev did not want us to become involved in this counting circles thing. He wanted us to do it with some mood, some heart, some bandha. Some sambandha, some relationship. And so he really heavily put emphasis on increasing the bhav, or the mood of the practitioner in bhakti. That we didn't just do things as an empty ritual. Empty rituals can be dangerous because anyone can come by and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? I don't know. We asked one boy, why are you doing it? Oh, my parents did it. Well, that's not a good enough reason. What's the reason for it? I don't know. Well, then why are you doing it? And then what happens? Anyone can give something even slightly better than that, maybe not the best, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let me reject this. So if anyone is only doing the activities of bhakti without understanding the meaning or the reason behind it, then it will just be ritualistic activity. And ritualistic activity, it will not awaken devotion in the heart. Just doing the externals. So Srila Gurudev said that everything our Goswamis have given, they've given for a reason, and there's a deep meaning behind every aspect, every part and parcel of bhakti that our Gurudev, our Guru Varga, and our Goswamis have given us. And our function as sadhaks, sadhakas, is to search for that deep meaning. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose? What is the mood behind it? If we don't have any mood, then it can be very, very dry. Oh my God, I've been doing this for 30 years and nothing. And many have experienced this. I've been doing it for so long and there's nothing. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because I am not applying it properly. How am I not applying it properly? I'm not following the instruction of Sri Guru. I'm not under that proper guidance. I'm mixing this and this and this. I'm giving 5% here and 95% there. I'm not following the process, so I'm not seeing the result. And the resulting effect of that is one will lose faith, one will give up the process, and one will go to experience what they can taste. And that is the material energy. How many of us have found ourselves trying and then, oh, I'm not experiencing it, and then we go back into the material energy and we're tasting and experiencing so much. That feels like reality because we're not applying it properly and we're not actually accepting the guidance. If we dive deep into the moods that our Guru Varga are giving, being under guidance and following in that mood, then we can hope to awaken that bhav. Bhav bhakti means the activities that we're doing on the path of bhakti should have a deep mood, a deep reason. And as we're progressing, we will find that it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And there is no end to that depth. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Maharaj says, progress means selection and elimination. And there is no end to progress. So now I will continue here. So we just needed to make that point that there is a definite difference between someone who's only doing something ritualistically, someone who's doing something with a mood, who has a mood of aparad to Vaishnavas in their heart, who is offending the pure devotees of Krishna. They won't have any positive effect because Krishna won't accept it. And that person who's offering with pure sentiment, there's a very big difference. They won't be equal. In the spiritual realm also, there is gradation in the service of the eternal associates of Bhagavan. Just as one servant brings flowers, another makes a garland, Another hands the garland to Lakshmi Devi. Another prepares food and another offers it. In this way, there is gradation. So we see that there's some kind of hierarchy here. But everyone involved in this hierarchy is also doing their seva. So each one of them is accepted. There is hierarchy in their speciality, but we cannot say that one's seva is not important and the other one is. That is how a proper society functions. Everything has their place, everyone does their job properly, and then we see the result comes beautifully. That's how government should work. In the transcendental realm, because Krishna is the only center of everyone's activities, then everything is harmonious. If one is serving near to Krishna and others are serving from farther away, one is serving near to him and others are serving from farther away. If the one who is serving near to him thanks, my eyes are failing me at the moment, the lighting. If the one who is serving near to him thinks that those who are serving from farther away are inferior, he is mistaken. The bhav, or sentiment, is the important thing. So I was just speaking about that, and Gurudeva is confirming it here. The bhav, the mood, the sentiment, that is the important thing. And really, for those who are in the path of sadhana, our goal, kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa saranavida, our goal is bhava bhakti, to serve with loving sentiment, loving mood. What is that thing that is moving in the heart? That is the important thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant, Govinda.
Srila Prabhu was asking if you can please repeat that quote about progress.
Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj says, progress means selection and elimination, and there is no end to progress. Means what was once favorable previously may not be favorable today. That association maybe that brought me to my Gurudev, maybe now they're doing complete nonsensical activities. They may have left the path of bhakti. They may be doing all sorts of sinful activities. If I take that same association now into my life, it can be detrimental for my progress. Maybe they help to bring me, but now I can appreciate that they've done that, but I should not maintain that association. So to progress, I might have to eliminate what is now unfavorable. Also, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj gives the example of Mahaprasadam. One day it is beautiful, fresh, fragrant, pure, so many beautiful preparations are there, and it is so nourishing to the body. But then it goes into your body and it digests, and then we have to eliminate it, and then accept a new plate of Mahaprasad. This is the nature of these things. So progress means selection and elimination, and there is no end to progress. Means we must always be searching how to increase our devotion, how to deepen our mood. And because the nature of transcendence is that it is never ending, it is always increasing. There is unlimited scope for increasing. So Srila Gurudev has said, the nature of a real disciple is that his mood is that he will always endeavor to better serve his Gurudev. And Srimati Radhika's mood is like this for Krishna, always endeavoring to increase the quality of the service. The quality means refining that beautiful mood, the depth of that service. How to better please my beloved, how to better please my master. This is the nature of a devotee or a bhakta or a disciple or a real beloved. That they always want to increase the happiness, the pleasure, and the benefit of the object of their love and affection. In order to do that, at some things which in the past may have been favorable, we need to let that go and accept that thing which will increase my thirst for serving Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant, Govinda Das, may think that Swarup Damodar and Narayan Ramananda are only servants who remain at a distance from the Lord, and who only come for a few minutes or an hour and make Mahaprabhu cry. Govinda Das himself wipes away the tears of Mahaprabhu, and then they come and make him cry again. So he may think, why do they have to come and make him cry again? So this is a beautiful example that Srila Gurudev is giving of different levels of associates. Rai Ramananda and Swarup Damodar are coming to visit Mahaprabhu only for an hour or two, and they discuss very deep subject matters, and Mahaprabhu is weeping. And Govinda is always there with Mahaprabhu as his servant, and he's there wiping his tears, thinking, why are they? Gurudev is saying he may think. But still, we can see this even with Gurudev. We don't understand. There may be someone who is with him all day or year after year, even externally serving. And maybe someone else is very far away, who's not coming to see him every year, but is following his instructions, sharing his mission, preaching, and increasing their internal connection, serving Manobishta of Gurudev. One might be doing external massage, washing the clothes, cleaning the toilet, doing so many things for Gurudev. But who is going deep into that relationship internally with Gurudev, maybe pleasing him 1,000 times more? And this is sometimes difficult to ascertain. We have seen that Rupa Goswami was only with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a few days, here and there. Ram Keli, in Dashashvamedha Ghat, Mahaprabhu gave him so much. But Mahaprabhu sent him to Vrindavan. And from Vrindavan, there Rupa Goswami is glorified as that personality who manifested in this world the inner heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So although they were so physically distant, still the mood of their heart was so close, so deeply connected, that Rupa Goswami had the opportunity that not many had to dive deep into the heart of Mahaprabhu and reveal any beautiful gems from the treasure of the ocean of Mahaprabhu's heart to this world. He had that capacity, that right, and that freedom. How near and dear was he to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So from an external, you could say, yeah. We also can see that with our Srila Prabhupada. At the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, was not one of the prominent sannyasis. He didn't receive sannyas during the manifest presence of his Gurudev. He wasn't one of the main persons managing one of the temples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He wasn't known as one of the primary preachers. He was assisting the other preachers. Other preachers were living with him. He would set up big pandal programs when our Param Gurudev, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, would go to his area. He lived with, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj lived with him and his family for 7 years in, I think it was Allahabad. And he would arrange programs and do so many things. But he wasn't known as one of the prominent personalities that everyone saw. Oh, this is Abhay Babu. He had his family, he had his business, he had this. He was also doing some seva on the side. That's what they could see. Who knew? Who knew that he would be that person who would cross the oceans and fulfill the inner heart's desire of his Gurudev and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhaktivedanta Thakur? Who could see that at that time? That he would manifest that. That he would make Hare Krishna a household word. That he would bring the name of Sachinandan Gaurahari to every town and village of this world. Sarvatra Prachar Hoive Moranam. Who knew that he would be the one to do that? So one might not always be able to understand and see what's going on the inside, on the deepest level. It's easy to misunderstand that, and only later we, oh, now I can see it. So Gurudev is explaining here that Govinda Das is always saying to the Lord, Prabhu, please don't cry. But actually Mahaprabhu wanted to cry. Like Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to open a crying school. And I am opening a crying school. Because this is the mood, crying for Krishna. Really with one's heart, weeping for Krishna. This is so attractive to Krishna. When Krishna left the Rasa Leela, at that time all of the gopis came together and in one voice they were crying, calling out, Jayati te dhikam janmana braja shrayata indira shashvadatrahi. So many beautiful prayers in Gopi Geet calling out, crying and weeping in separation from Krishna. How much did this attract the heart of Krishna? Like Gurudev said, Krishna likes one tear more than thousands of lofty words and prayers and verses or whatever. One tear, one moment of the heart melting is so attractive to Krishna. So Govinda Das is always saying to the Lord, Prabhu, please don't cry. Then Surup Damodar will come and make him cry again. So what will Govinda Das think? Therefore, it is not that the servant who is nearer is necessarily better. When we were taking care of Srila Gurudev in those last months, it was especially when we arrived in Delhi. We arrived on the October 10th, 2010. So it was 10-10-10, easy for us to remember. Immediately we were placed the next morning into Gurudev's kitchen seva. And we were in there counting milliliters of this and that and cleaning the kitchen and preparing everything, making soups and counting milliliters and medicine and all of these things. And our function was to remain inside and to be very stoic. They didn't want us to show Gurudev our tears or anything because they didn't want Gurudev to become emotional, let's say. It's some part of Indian culture where when someone is in such a state, you don't create any disturbance for them. So they said something to the effect of, we are all hard-hearted here, no tears. And so we were there just trying to do our seva. And the devotees outside, my God, they were chanting the Ashcharya Hare Krishna tune at the top of their lungs. And they were all weeping and crying simultaneously. And we were inside having to do this very personal, intimate seva, only desiring that we could be outside crying for Gurudev with those devotees. It was very difficult to be in there. And when I did need to cry, I had to run into the corner in the kitchen and hide. And because they didn't want the other devotees to see each other crying inside either, because then we would all start crying. It was a very sensitive environment. But those who were outside, they were calling out at the top of their lungs, tears pouring down their face and crying and chanting the holy name. And we were just desperate to be out there. And they said, Gurudev inside, they said, he's listening to the kirtan. So just being inside, this was one of the greatest revelations for me, that I was there counting milliliters, I was there cleaning the floors, I was there cleaning his bathroom, washing his clothes, and doing so many things. And I used to believe that that was Vishrambena Guru Seva. Gurudev would always say, serving Gurudev with intimacy. And I wouldn't say realization, but the epiphany that I received after being there for 3 months, from that day that we arrived until Gurudev's physical departure from our vision. The epiphany that I received was that it's not necessarily Vishrambena Guru Seva, means serving Gurudev with intimacy, to just be physically close to Gurudev and doing all of the external physical things, but to actually serve the inner heart's mood of Gurudev, the Mano Bishta Seva. This is the real Vishrambena Guru Seva. Means service with intimacy. To serve his heart. Like Gurudev said, you shouldn't always try to touch my feet, you should try to touch my heart. This is a much deeper kind of service. Not saying that those who are doing that kind of service are not doing that also, that manobhishta seva. Like Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, he was doing all of that external seva, but also serving in so many other ways, deeply and internally, helping, assisting Gurudev with all of his book translation, with everything. He was serving in every way. In the kitchen, this way, that way. Personally, I cannot say. So I'm not saying that those who are serving closely are not doing Vishrambena Guru Seva and are not doing Manobhishta Seva. But it is not necessarily the case that just because someone is physically close to Gurudev and doing the external sevas, that they are doing Vishrambena Guru Seva or Manobhishta Seva. As I told when myself and that other devotee, I can't remember, I think it was Lalit, we were massaging Gurudev in Singapore, and that time Govinda Bhakata, Ashram Maharaj, came in and wanted to massage Gurudev. And Gurudev actually told him, what are you doing here? There's so many more important services you can be doing. You can be preaching. And he said, they need this. Before I was thinking, I have such a great opportunity. I'm massaging Gurudev. You know, what a great, physically massaging Gurudev. But as soon as he said that, I realized, wait a second. It's not necessarily the most important thing to his heart that I'm taking care of the physical aspect. Because another time I was massaging him and he opened his eyes and he said, your wife is calling? And I said, what? He said, your wife is calling. I said, what do you mean? I knew what he meant, but I didn't want to admit it. And he just rolled his eyes and he said, just now she came in your mind. And I said, yes, Gurudev. And he just went like that and closed his eyes and continued chanting the ashtakams. So one can be physically absorbed in massaging the form, the vapu of Gurudev, but the mind can be a million miles away, like mine was. My wife was in California at the time, or in Seattle, and I was in Malaysia with Gurudev, and he just said, your wife is calling, just like that. So just because someone is doing apparent physical, intimate service to Gurudev, it doesn't mean that they're actually doing true Vishrambena Guru Seva or Manobhishta Seva. And then there are others who are always hovering around Gurudev, but might actually be creating a nuisance or a distraction. Maybe even unwittingly or unknowingly doing something which is unfavorable for him. And Gurudev would compare those personalities to mosquitoes. Mosquitoes also circumambulate and come around, and then they just create a disturbance in the ears, means talking all sorts of nonsense, gramyakata, and then they take blood and create an itch. So there were others who have this kind of thing, and this is also not serving the inner heart's desire of Gurudev. So really the essential teaching is how to go deep into serving the inner heart's desire of Guru, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna. This is the important thing, and that will be real Vishrambena Guru Seva, or service with intimacy. That service with intimacy. Who is doing more intimate Seva? Raya Ramananda, Surup Damodar, or Govinda? Govinda's like, why are they coming and making him cry? And he's wiping his tears. Who is serving him more? Who is pleasing him more? Who is touching his heart more? Who is serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the way that he is feeling more transcendental ecstasy? Surup Damodar and Raya Ramananda. So, therefore, it is not that the servant who is nearer is necessarily better. In this case, the servants that remain farther away from Mahaprabhu are higher. It is not a question of the physical proximity or distance, but of the heart's nearness to or distance from him. That service to Hari, Guru, and the Vaishnavas, in which there is the most love, is the best. This reminds me of what Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj told me when I first met him. Because the devotees were saying, if someone has not been physically close to your Gurudev, then they cannot be your Shiksha Guru. And many were saying that, even in senior positions. sannyasis and very respected seniors were saying, if they were not physically close to your Gurudev, then they cannot be your Shiksha Guru. So I questioned Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj on this. And he said, we have never heard such things. Imagine in all of his years, and how brilliant he is, and how well studied, and how much knowledge, and his own devotional connection. We have never heard such things. And then he told that beautiful example from the Puranas, how the lotus flower and the sun, although they're so physically distant, still their relationship is so close that the lotus flower opens upon the presence of the sun. Same with the night lotus and the moon, and the peacock and the monsoon rain cloud. When it begins to rumble with deep thunder, that peacock begins to dance. How intimate is their relationship, although they're so physically distant.
One thing that's interesting is when you hear about our Gurudev, and he speaks about the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, not only his Gurudev, he says, I got the chance to serve so many of them, to hear from so many of them, and so I received so many blessings. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj is saying, I got to serve almost all those very prominent disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And that was at the time their Gurudevs were present. And they were engaging them in that service. Even Param Gurudev engaged our Gurudev to serve and take care of our Srila Prabhupada when he went to live in the Math.
Right.
So even then, while Sri Guru is there, he was saying you should serve these other Vaishnavas, even they've opened other mats, even they may be householders. He didn't have this kind of only me, only mine. Gurudev was always saying, this is not Guru. So I was just saying that that blessings and that seva of the Vaishnavas, it's so important. What to speak of Shiksha Guru has nothing to do with that physical thing.
This delighted me when I read this last sentence, because Gurudev's words are almost verbatim what Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj said. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj said, physical proximity is not the barometer. It is a matter of the mood in the heart. And Gurudev said, it is not a question of the physical proximity or distance, but of the heart's nearness to or the distance from him. In other words, that same essential teaching and even the words is manifesting through two different forms. Same wine, new bottle. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj spoke those words, I felt that essential truth, that essence very strongly in my heart. And it was like my Gurudev is speaking to me. And here I am reading it, almost verbatim. The same words, physical proximity and the heart's nearness. So physical proximity is not the barometer, it is a matter of the mood in the heart. This is the essential thing. And we've seen this with our Gurudev, how he gave shiksha to so many. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj, how he gave shiksha to so many, even those who aren't his disciples, but he was able to nourish them, even though he may not have had such external physical closeness to their guru. And I'm saying this from Gurudev's side. Maybe he didn't have physical closeness so much to the gurus of all these persons, but because he is manifesting that same essential principle, Gurutva, Guru is present there, that same wine in a new bottle, as Gurudev would say, then he is able to nourish everyone. So I just want to end with this quote by our Srila Prabhupada, which he gave in a lecture to his godbrothers on the occasion of the disappearance of his Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, in Mumbai, back then known as Bombay, in 1936. Guru is one who appears in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others. So if we are sincere, if we're crying out, if we're searching and we're praying to Krishna for his mercy, that I want to develop love and affection for you, please send me your own servant. Please send me your own person, your own man to help me, or lady, your own personality to bring this heart, to awaken within this heart love and affection and a mood of service to you. If we are sincere, there is no lacking in Krishna. Krishna can at any time send 1 or 1,000,000, however many he wants. And if we're sincere, we're waiting to receive that. We're only going to drink that water which is coming from the cloud at the time of Swati Nakshatra. Like that chatak bird, I will only receive that transcendental nectar. Then we can be so hopeful of attaining the shelter, the grace, and the mercy of any pure devotee who will help to bring us forward on our journey toward perfection. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupan Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Oh, please forgive me for going so long. I'm sorry. I think I started a little late because we spoke about Nityananda Prabhu and being Guru Nishtha.
We'll do a quick Harinam and Darshan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga, and also the beautiful experiences and lessons that we've learned from our Gurudev, and also for engaging us in our Guru Seva to share what we have learned from them. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna,
sweet Dandavat Pranam.
Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki
Jai.
jai, Shashinandan Gaura Hari
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.